Hello everyone. Welcome to this video on site administration in bold reports. This video explains custom rebranding, email settings, account settings, authentication, API keys, and license updates in the user management server. First, I log in with my administrator credentials. And I open the UMS page. I click the Settings option in the left navigation bar. The Settings page will open. First, let's see the options that are available in the Site Settings page. You can see options to customize and rebrand the UMS by changing the organization name, header logo, favicon, email logo, time zone, and date-time display formats. Changing the organization name changes the browser title. The Site URL field displays the URL or web page, where the report server is hosted. This can be changed in the IIS. Please check the documentation link in the video description to learn how to do this. By default, the user management server sets the coordinated universal time in the time zone. Bold Reports UMS supports 6 date formats. The default date format is DD, YYYY. You can change it here. By default, 12-hour clock format is enabled. But you can change it to 24-hour format. If inherit from user's browser locale or time zone is selected, the date, time, and time zone will be based on the user's browser settings. The language option is used to set the locale on the UMS site. The login screen allows you to change the login screen image. The preferred image size is 200 by 40 pixels. You can change the header logo in the UMS. The preferred image size for it is 40 by 40 pixels. Here you can change the favicon, with a preferred image size of 40 by 40 pixels. You can change the email logo here. The preferred image size for it is 200 by 40 pixels. I changed the organization name to Bold ID Site Settings. And then I change the login screen image, by clicking Change Logo. You can see the preview of the image. Similarly, I changed the header logo. Favicon. Email logo. And you will see their previews. I click the Save button. Now, logging out of the report server. The image on the login page has changed. I sign into the report server, and I open the site settings in the UMS. You can see, the header logo has changed. In the Browser tab, you will see the favicon image has changed to the image selected in the favicon option. And in the browser title, the new text is in the organization name. I have sent a test email from the UMS email page, which I will be explaining later in this video, and in the received email, you can see that the image in the email logo is displayed. I re-upload the original image in the branding section. And click the Save button. Next, let's look at the options in the Look and Feel page. Click the Look and Feel option in the left navigation bar. There's an option to change the font. You can add the font file here, and use it in both the report server and UMS. To add the font file, click Add a new font. The Upload Font dialog will open. only the .woff2 font file format is supported. I click the Browse icon in the Font File option. I select the font file, and then click the Open button. The file will be uploaded, and the name is automatically added in the font name text box. I click the Upload button. I click the drop-down icon next to Font Style. You will see the font name was added to the drop-down list. I select the font, and you see the font in the UMS site is changed. I click the Save button. Opening the report server, you can see the report server font has also changed. You can add a separate font style for just the report server. To do so, click the Settings icon in the left navigation bar. In the Site Settings page under the Display category, if the Inherit from the Global Settings option is selected in the Application Font option, then the font we have selected in the UMS will be inherited in the report server. I click the drop-down icon in the Application Font property. The list of fonts in the UMS page are displayed. I select the font style and click the Save button. You will see the font style has changed in the report server to the selected font. But when I open the UMS page, you will see the font is not applied. I change it back to the default font style and click the Save button. Now let's look at the options in the email page. Click the Email option in the left navigation bar. The Settings page contains the list of fields to be configured for sending emails. The SMTP server field specifies the remote SMTP server. SMTP is an Internet Standard Communication Protocol for email transmissions. By default, SMTP uses port 25 to accept email from the remote SMTP server or an email client, but you can change that here. The Sender Name field specifies the value that appears in the from line of an email message. The Sender Email Address field specifies the value of the sender email. The Authentication Type field specifies the connection of the report server with the remote SMTP server. There are two types of authentications, anonymous and basic. The Username field specifies the username to connect to the SMTP server. The Password field specifies the password to connect to the SMTP server. The Enable SSL field specifies whether the SMTP client uses a secure sockets layer to encrypt the connection. I enter the necessary fields to configure the email settings. And select the Enable SSL option. In the UMS email settings page, you will see the option to send a test email to check whether the values entered to configure the email are correct or not. I click the Send Test Email button, and the Send Test Email dialog will open. I enter my email address and click the Send button. You will see the test email is received. I click the Save button. Next, let's see the options in the Accounts page. Click the Accounts option in the left navigation bar. In this page, we will find the options to activate user accounts and emails in the User Management Server. Accounts can be activated in two modes, automatic and email. If the user account needs to be automatically activated, when adding the user to the User Management Server, we need to leave the default automatic option. If the email account activation mode is selected, then user accounts will not be activated, as they are added to the user management server. An account activation email with an activation link will be sent to the user's email address, instead. The account will be inactive until the user activates the account. The email account activation mode is enabled only when the mail settings are configured. The user email option is used to set whether an email address is required while adding a new user or not. By selecting Not Required, the email will not be sent to the user after adding them. By selecting Required, while adding the user, the email address field will be mandatory, and the user will get an email notification for both automatic and email activation methods. By default, Required is selected. For the automatic activation method, both Not Required and Required options will be available. But for the email activation method, the Required activation method is selected automatically. I click the Save button. The email account activation mode is enabled only when the mail settings are configured. Now, let's see the options in the authentication page. Click the Authentication option in the left navigation bar. This page contains the options to configure the default authentication: Windows AD, Azure AD, OAuth 2.0, OpenID Connect, and JWTS-SO in the user management server. Before explaining this, I log out from the UMS site. And you will see no authentication method in the UMS site. I log in with my administrator credentials. And then open the UMS authentication settings page. The default authentication provider option will not be shown in the general section, since I didn't enable any authentication in this page. I click the Windows AD. The Enable Windows Authentication. And the Save button. I log out from the UMS page. And you can see the Windows AD authentication is enabled in the login page. I log in with my administrator credentials. And then, I open the UMS authentication settings page. The default authentication provider option will not be shown in the general section, since I didn't enable any authentication in this page. I click the Enable Default Authentication option to enable the default authentication provider. I click the drop-down icon. And the list of enabled authentication methods is displayed. Since I have enabled only the Windows AD authentication provider, only the Windows AD option is displayed. Each authentication provider has a list of fields that need to be configured before using them. I click OpenID Connect. And I fill the necessary fields. I add an image in the provider logo option, which will be displayed in the authentication option. And click Save. I log out from the UMS page, and you can see Windows AD and OpenID Connect enabled in the login page. In the default authentication provider list, Windows AD and OpenID Connect are displayed in the default authentication provider. Click the API Keys option in the left navigation bar. In this page, you can see the client ID and secret information that can be used for REST API authentication. Now, let's look at the options in the configuration page. Click the Configuration option in the left navigation bar. In this page, you can configure the UMS and report server application. Product.json contains the configuration of the entire application. This page contains the domain information, in which the application is hosted, and the information regarding the bold products installed. For example, if you change the domain in the UMS site's settings page, but it's not updated in the product.json, then you can change it here. And click the Save button. Config.xml contains the information and validation keys of the UMS. Known_domains.json contains the information regarding the other domains that can be allowed or denied within the application. By adding the domain name here, the application will allow or deny the domain. The reporting/config.xml file contains the information for the report server. Now, let's look at the options in the Manage License page. Click the Manage License option in the left navigation bar. In this page, you will update the license manually for Bold Reports Enterprise Reporting. The Copy button is used to copy the license from the UMS site. The Edit Subscription or Refresh License buttons are used to update the license. Click the first. The Edit Subscription dialog will be displayed. Here you will select the license from your Bold Reports account, or upload the offline license key. The offline license key is used if an organization is working behind a firewall for security purposes. You can download the offline license key file from your Accounts page. By clicking the Upload button, the Upload License dialog will be displayed. Here, you can upload the license file by clicking the Browse button and choosing the license file. If you click the Update License button, the license will be updated. I click the Cancel button. If you want to add the online license for your Bold Reports account, click the Login button. A new window will be displayed that asks you to enter your Bold Reports account credentials. I enter the credentials. After logging in, it will redirect us to the Select Your Portal License page. You can select the license from this page, and the license will be updated. In this video, we have seen each option available in the User Management Server Settings page. Stay tuned to this channel for our upcoming videos on Bold Reports. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.